Hello and welcome everybody to an Easter evening. I hope you are all full of ham and potatoes and all sorts of wonderful delicious food and you are just ready to get into the hobby because it is time to hobby and chat. I of course am what's it called when you it's like do what you say but not what you do? Hypocrite. I'm going to be a hypocrite tonight. Because
Hypocrite, you
I'm
say?
not going to hobby. But
Interesting.
I do have on screen the reason why I'm not going to be hobbying. This is a sneak peek at the completed Marvel Crisis Protocol display shelf carry case um,
Which looks
box
awesome.
that I have been furiously not only finishing over the past 36 hours, but also filming and editing and getting the final installment of the video done. And I'm just super burned out from 36 hours of working on that, along with doing an I Should Be Painting. And I just feel like sitting in front of my computer and chatting with my friends. So while I do that, Aaron, what are you up to?
Painting some Death Shroud bodyguards, or they might just be called Death Shroud Terminators now because they don't bodyguard really anymore. But yeah, working on these three tubby
was there
boys
was there an
right now.
incident? Was there an incident where they
Well, they
like
just they used to be specifically to bodyguard Mortarion. I think they still do some bodyguarding, but
they got in
not as
trouble in
much.
like the Caribbean with the amount of money that they were spending on the hotel
Yeah, they just
and
kept letting too many people into the party. Is really
right,
the gist of it.
right. Cool. Okay, that makes sense. Sean, what are you doing?
I'm scraping a storm bolter for a Terminator right now. Some more Deathwing stuff. Always more Deathwing stuff. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to figure that out.
Cool. And Josh.
I am working on some Hellions. One of our buddies had a Gangs of Camarog game. Actually, his wife did, and she's getting rid of it. So I picked it up, and so that gave me Hellions and Reavers and a cool game that we can try out once we get it going.
Now that is the box that had a whole bunch of elves on surfboards, right?
Yeah, it came with 10 Hellions and 6 Reavers.
So how many surfboards is that?
10.
10.
Okay. That's all. I
Yeah,
literally know nothing about elves and I like to keep it that way.
so I have 24 skateboards slash hoverboards slash whatever,
Okay.
and I have 18 Reavers now.
All right.
Okay. You have to send me
Mm-hmm.
what you need me to print. I'm gonna do something real dangerous.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, is it dangerous?
Are you gluing yourself together already?
No, I'm stretching the zoom window out while we're live, so
Uh,
that it's a 4x4, so that everybody can see Aaron what he's painting. And if you want to switch your Logitech so what you're painting is big and you are small, you will be the main hobbyist this
oof.
evening.
The Hobby
Oof,
Lord.
the hobby lord. I do have three separate Zoom windows going on for
Hmm.
management, because I have a lot of stuff that we can show. Um, but I just wanted to start out. I just wanted to tell you guys about my awesome weekend.
All right.
Okay,
Okay, let's hear it.
so
Okay.
my weekend started on Friday. Okay, and many of you may know, I have the child, and we do pizza movie night every Friday, right? But it was a holiday on Friday, so we started pizza movie night at the hour that the pizza place opened. So I I put in a Grubhub order, for delivery at so that it would like arrive at like noon, right? Like I put in
Oof.
my pizza order at like 11. So we got our pizza at noon. We played this really fun game that is like sort of like an over the shoulder RPG, but it's meant for younger kids and families. And so it's kind of like little chibi characters, third person, walking around fighting skeletons and zombies and all sorts of stuff. But there's
Cool.
limited number of items and simplified storylines and quest lines so that, the younger kids can follow it and have fun too and figure out how to upgrade stuff, right? And make progress. So we played that for like 3 hours. Then we switched to YouTube once the pizza arrived, and all he wanted to watch on YouTube was slow motion explosions. So
Mm-hmm.
we watched slow motion explosions for 2.5 hours, which I have to say, if you've never just YouTube slow motion explosions for 2.5 hours, I strongly recommend
Oh
that
god.
that you do that. And then after that, we just watched movies until 9 o'clock at night until the pizza was gone. So that was Friday. Saturday, what a day! I saw Josh
Yeah, buddy.
in the flesh.
In the
Um,
flesh.
in the flesh,
Live.
live in person, socially distanced in the park. That was great.
It was awesome.
For about an hour until I couldn't walk around anymore because I have a fractured ankle. And then I went home and I just started working
Oh,
on finishing the display shelf. And I did that from Saturday afternoon till about 2 hours ago. So I worked on it for, I want to say 10 hours on Saturday and then all day today.
It's a lot of shelving. Are you now a carpenter? Are
I
you
mean,
gonna go all live in the woods and just make furniture now?
it's actually kind of funny. Um, so I might be hired by a TV show to make a prop for a TV show.
What?
Really?
interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So a friend of mine works as a prop master,
Dope
and
title.
he's working dope title. Yeah, he's a prop master.
I know who it is.
He does know he's somebody I went to college with, and he's working on a new sci-fi show. I can't tell you anything about it. um, uh, and they have a particular prop that happens to look like something that I've already made for the wargaming table. And so he took a bunch of pictures of it to the producer and the director, and if they like it, then they are going to contract me to make it, but like through like the prop master will still be making it, but he'll be subcontracting it to me with their requirements to make.
Oh, cool.
So I'm getting pretty good on the laser cutter. You know what I mean? At designing and making stuff on the laser cutter.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
um, like that would be really fun to actually make something that like appears on Netflix or
Um,
television or
uh,
Hulu. I have no idea where it's going. Um, but it's a real TV show.
The
That's
real
awesome,
one.
dude.
Wow.
That sounds awesome, dude.
It's a real one. So we'll see. We'll see.
Rooting for you.
I think he's also trying to finagle getting the TV show to buy him a Glowforge. I think that's the other part of this. Is that they're trying to, get the big TV money, right? So he can buy a 3D printer and a Glowforge for his business. Um and use me as proof of concept, right? Like, look at all these cool things we can make. Just give me the money to buy it.
Give me the money.
Give me the cash.
So yeah, so that was my weekend. Um,
Cool, man. Very cool.
but I'm just like, I'm at that point where I don't I don't want to use my fingers anymore to on little tiny things.
Fair.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
keep looking over at it though, cause so it has the purple on it, right? I can go back
Which
to the
looks
I
cool,
can go
yeah.
back to the main thing. It has the purple on it, so that was an accident. What happened is that I had cut um, for Josh, because this one is Josh's. I had cut these two like wooden ones, and they were warped. Like they don't
Mm.
sit flat. And I was really upset, and I was like, well, am I going to pin them? Am I going to magnetize them? And I was like, boy, it would just be great if I just cut a piece of acrylic. I don't know if Josh is going to like that because he can't, it's like hard to glue to acrylic, and whatnot. So I'll just cut it. And I was like, oh, I have purple acrylic, and I just did the vaporwave, and I think it actually looks freaking dope. And then that's when I decided to add the cherry veneer to it. Um, so it's like the red and the purple.
It
But
looks great, dude.
It
yeah,
sure
It
does.
sure do.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the video. I also really, really like the I Should Be Painting video today. Uh, I really enjoyed making that one. So if you haven't seen that yet, that just went up a couple hours ago, and I took a look at 5 games that I used to play in the 1980s and 1990s. Some of them are still around. Some of them are coming back. One of them is called Chronopia,
Granopia!
and they have done
I think
something.
people really excited about this game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This game was awesome.
Weird.
So Chronopia, you know, like there's always these anti GW games. You know what I mean? There's always these games that are like, if this is what the rules of GW is, then I'm just gonna do the opposite. So this was a D20 instead of D6. Um, Units had alternating actions, right? Um, just opposite feel. But here's the thing. Back in the day, when
It was a Wednesday.
when it was a Wednesday, the game store could not pick what they ordered from GW. Okay, so I know there's like all this nostalgic love and people talking about how like you could go into the back of like White Dwarves and order just backpacks for certain guys. That's like kind of true and kind of not true. Games Workshop just unilaterally decided what they sent game stores. So if they made Space Marines, then they sent you Space Marines, and it was your job to sell Space Marines. And I know that because I worked at the game store. And so I never got into Warhammer during second edition because all of my friends had played were playing all of the armies, and I was waiting for another army to show up, and they just like didn't send it. So I was like, okay, whatever. I don't want to play Space Marines. Everybody's playing Space Marines or Chaos or Dark Eldar or something. You know, like I want something else. So I got into Chronopia. And what we're looking at now is literally like 25 years later. Um, Somebody has bought the rights to Chronopia and they made this cool little like virtual art gallery where you can tour the models like you're in an art gallery. So like one of the models is standing in the middle like a sculpture, which we're looking at right now. And then the other models are just like paintings on the wall. Some of them are interactive and whatnot. Um, and they are re-releasing the game of Chronopia, but it looks like they're making some changes to it in terms of the way it's going to be played. It looks like the rules. Oh wow, it's real mad at me. I have to use the buttons. Thank you, buttons. It looks like they're going to be using like cards for your skills and whatnot. So so we'll see how the game plays. Like it feels like it might be closer to Arena Rex.
Well, it said in the preview that it is skirmish, multiplayer, single player, uh, multiple players versus environment. Looks like they've got a couple of different ways to play the game, which is cool.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go click on these two things because they're videos and they'll be real loud. But yes, they have multiple playing options, including standard player versus player, multiplayer, and single player. They did announce that, but I'm saying like from the pictures on the wall, it looks like that like the Arena Rec stat cards is kind of how like I see decks of cards that have it looks like that has like weapons with stuff. So I don't know it some sort of mix of card and miniature game.
Yeah, maybe the
Um,
other cards are just upgrades to your model.
yeah.
Do you think was there any
Or
sort of deck building
No,
component
no,
or
no, no,
anything like that?
no, 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 no. It was a standard. It was a standard. How many points are you playing? How many points is your squad? Um, I will say that like it was one of the first games that taught me how important WYSIWYG is because they had a unit of guys, and the unit of guys looked like that they just had swords and shields, but they also had bows, right? And so I would always take a
Those are the
big.
humans, right?
Uh, I don't remember if they were humans or they were orcs. I think I played orcs.
no, you played some sort of weird multi-jointed tall shit.
No, that was Vor. That
That was
was
okay.
that was a
Yeah,
different game. That was
I,
Vor. Yes, and I played in Vor. I played these like aliens that had two joints on each one, and I decided just to spray them all silver. But anyways, that's different. That's a
it's a
different game.
different stream.
And so anyways, I would take this giant unit of guys that just looked like they had shields and swords, and then if I was playing against somebody who wasn't familiar with my list, because I was a stupid precocious kid, I wouldn't remind them that, oh, by the way, they also have bows, and so then they would like, expect to get into close combat, and I'd be like, aha, I shoot you with my bow. And
That's
So
janky.
yeah, it's like not announcing what's in your drop pod.
hey, it's not my fault they weren't modeled.
Yeah, wasn't it?
But
No.
Well, and let me ask, where'd the rules come from, right? You know, there was a book that you
Yeah,
purchased. That was
right.
the
It was
rules.
Yeah,
just a
there were books.
rule book. It
Yeah.
was rule
So
books and supplements, and
I need a tabletop miniature game that I can play with my miniatures
mhm.
and a deck of cards. I want all my stats. I want all my rules. I want
I
everything
mean,
on cards.
that's what this is
I can
looking.
just
That's what this is looking like.
because I just want to carry that deck, right? I don't need all the extra bullshit from the book. I
Th-
just need what I'm using.
That's how.
Right?
That's also how Hero
I hope
Clicks
that.
used to be way back in the
Yeah.
day. All the rules were on the base.
Yeah. Well, I certainly
Yeah,
hope that
because there
that
were no
is.
special rules
No, there
except for the
weren't.
lightning bolt or whatever. It was all on one card, every single special ability, and it was just one symbol
Yeah,
that gave them whatever.
Yeah, but
until
if you did cards,
What is that
all the
tabletop
pieces.
game where it's in like creepy bayou? I know it's like weird miniatures makes it
creepy by
Malifaux.
Malifaux.
Malifaux. That's all
Oh yeah.
card based too.
No. Malifaux's super complicated.
You
We
do use cards to
You
play
do
though.
use cards, but it has a rule book. But it has a rule book on top of the cards.
Well, there's
Uh,
going to be a core rule book that's going to tell you how things work. I'm just saying, like,
oh,
In the
40k data
game.
cards, all the different rules.
it
You know,
sounded
like
like
War Cry.
you didn't want a
these
core rule
things.
book.
And
Here's my funny story
I don't
about
want to have to carry a book with me.
here's
Or
my
War
maybe
Cry.
just one book.
Warcry. Yeah, Warcry. There you go.
But I want
So
to play with Space Marines.
Dave and I went to premiere the Rangers movie at the board game convention in Columbus, Ohio.
When
Uh,
was this?
Is this
uh,
Origins?
Origins, 5 or 6 years ago, 5 years ago. It was when Eighth Edition came out. Eighth Edition was being debuted there. So whatever year Eighth Edition came out is when we went. Um,
Gotcha.
so we went there and we spent like all day filming, doing the short. At that point, it was the short film. It wasn't the full film. We premiered the short film and we were like doing a whole bunch of stuff and Dave was signing autographs and we'd been walking around and the GW people like brought us over and we were playing eighth edition and they were like they didn't know who Dave was from mini wargaming and so they were really confused how we knew the rules to eighth edition, right? Because it wasn't supposed to be out and we're just like playing and they're like, oh, you seem to know the rules to this. And Dave's like, yeah, of course I do. And they had no
I'm
idea.
kind of important. I'm kind of more important than you.
It was really funny. So
Did
then,
you not just see I was signing autographs?
yeah, like
No one does that in this
like
hobby.
yeah, literally people are coming up to him asking for autographs while we're playing this game, and this guy is confused that there's been like a data leak or something. So we get through the whole day, and then we
That's
go to
too funny.
Dave's like, I want to play Malifaux, and I'm like, all right. So we're really tired, and we go to play Malifaux, and I'm exhausted. And I'm just like sitting there, like back in my chair, and the guy explains my whole list and he explains the whole thing. And somehow I had like a savant moment where I remembered every single rule, right? Like I was just so tired and spongy and was just like everything he said for some reason like leaked into my brain properly. And he's going through the demo and I'm like, no, actually that's wrong. You have to roll it this way. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I thought you've never played before. I'm like, I haven't. I'm just really tired. Like, can we just play the game? So Malifaux is complicated. And it's not
Unless
just
you're
cards.
extremely sleep
Unless you're
deprived.
extremely,
And then it's easy.
and then it's easy. And then it's easy. But I know it's
You
complicated
guys.
because they were shocked when I was like remembering the rules after one explanation.
All right, guys. Next time we're at actual Adepticon, our 2 a.m. board game, we got it. We
We
know what we're
got it.
playing.
Yeah, get Aaron. That's when he's good. Just, Josh is good all the time normally during the day.
Yes.
And then Sean is pretty good normally all the time during the day. And then
Until it turns 6 o'clock and then he falls asleep.
yeah, and then he
That's
falls
true.
asleep. He's got 11 minutes till his medicine timer goes off.
Do I? Ooh, I can preempt that. Good call, man.
And then 2 o'clock in the morning, you just bring me out and have me play something new, and I will crush it. I will crush it. So let's see, what sort of 40k stuff do we have going on? None. It's just all Warhammer Quest. the, the
There's yeah.
the
Well, there was
entire
the Warzone Charizard, but
well
there's a lot,
we
a
will get to
lot of
we will get to the Charizard.
Well,
That's
so I have something that I want to ask because I
Sure.
thought Josh, you pronounced that weird Dark Angels word kind of funny, and I wanted to know what everybody thought the correct pronunciation of the shitty planet where the shitty Dark Elves live is. The
Uh,
because I always thought it was like
The correct
Kamora.
answer is they don't live on a planet.
Well, wherever, who cares? They're Dark Elves. It doesn't matter. How do
like
you
their
pronounce the
home
They
world.
live in Cormorog or whatever that.
Cormora? Okay,
Yeah.
Cormora sounds ridiculously wrong.
Cormora.
how do you think it's said?
Yeah.
I was thinking like Kamora, but that's I don't know.
Like Gamora, but with a K?
Yeah, kind of, sorta.
I think all the
How do
names
we
that
spell it?
GW comes up with stuff is supposed to create friction between gamers.
I think it's
No,
I
I
think
think
it's
that's
supposed
just
I
you.
just think it's
No,
supposed
I think that's true.
Yeah, I think it's 100% true.
Mhm.
It's rules as
Slanesh,
written. They're
Slanesh,
like, "Oh, you
Zeke,
want to figure out rules as
Tzazik,
written? Yeah, figure out our name."
Tazim, Zesh,
Abaddon.
Abaddon, Abaddon.
Well,
Just
Abadabadoola.
Apollonia.
they're just making it slightly their own, but it just
Okay, so
makes
it
it
doesn't matter. I
confusing.
take the point. Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Wait. No, I have something.
Oh,
I was listening to a bat rep, or no, to a podcast, and someone was talking about the new dark. I'm sorry, Drukari. They called them Wyches, not
Wyches.
witches. Wyches.
Holy
Well,
shit.
it's WH, right?
Wyches.
They are Wyches.
They're witches.
It's like Adidas is actually Adidas.
What?
I
Oh
thought it was
no, we're not.
Adidas.
No.
Hey, okay. I
So
clearly don't like where this conversation took us, so we're
Yeah.
gonna erase the last like 3 minutes of existence.
I
Agreed.
just like to point
Rewind.
out that you
Start again.
started it.
Primaris Lieutenant : the movie. Did
You
you
mean
guys see
Lieutenant?
No,
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
No, that
Lieutenant. One of us.
there's some bad shit happening tonight.
Dude, do you love that? That was good, wasn't it?
It was very well played, sir.
You're breaking me. You're literally breaking me. So we got this. I don't even know what to do with this page, right? This is the only 40k related page in all of Warhammer community, and all it does is when you scroll over, it like zooms in a little bit.
It's an April Fool's
Yeah,
Day.
it was not a. And when
Yes,
there
it
was
was
an
April
animation at
Fools.
some point.
It's still pretty great trailer there. Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right. Well, I'm closing that.
There was a April Fools for Age of Sigmar as well, that they were making a new race of halflings.
Oh,
When they make
I-
stuff
I
that
almost
you
actually
fell
mean
for
an
it.
cool.
April disappointment?
Listen, I can't even tell when they're just like reposting old models, let alone when they're doing an
Yeah,
April
you do
Fools.
have a hard
So
time with
Did
that.
you see
buddy.
that other April Fools that they did thing that they did for Age of Sigmar?
What's that?
clearly
Where
not.
they made high elves totally lame and made them bull and fox people.
That,
Oh,
So
that's like
I
a
think
year
I think you're
long.
confused.
I think
No,
that should you just
it's a
don't like them.
practical joke on all of us.
Oh,
Uh,
I really like
You're
those
just a
models.
bitter contrarian.
I really like those models actually.
I think they have a lot of potential. They are not my style. I don't
There's
like them. I
very
would never own
select
that army.
models that
Dude,
I
they
But
think
used to
are
be
there's
like
some
cool.
neat
lions
shit
and
in
cool
there.
stuff,
I
but now
dig
they're
the
like,
Princess Mononoke
Yeah,
kind of
they're
vibes
Princess
that they went with.
Mononoke, man. Like
I'm gonna be.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
it.
an otter now.
So be it. There's
Yeah,
some
hey.
weird shit in this hobby.
I'm an otter.
Tazanicha says.
Who makes fun
This
of
is
otters?
the honey badger crew.
Who makes fun of otters? Like, what's wrong
Otters,
with
they're so cute.
what's wrong with otters? Get this.
They're
they're
not
just really
really
smart.
combat ready though.
Right?
Otters
Oh, that's
are.
What
true.
are they gonna do?
As opposed to a
Um,
turtle.
They bash stuff with rocks.
Oh,
Like,
I mean, they do
terrifying.
have sheep mountains, don't they?
yeah, they have sheep.
And they have foxes.
They have
fire
dead-eye
foxes.
They have dead-eye foxes. So the real big news, obviously, is Cursed City all day, every day.
All day, every day. Pre-order my
Um,
copy. We're gonna talk about it nonstop. You all are gonna love it so much.
So
What
here,
is Cursed City, guys?
so Cursed City is a new Warhammer quest. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Come on, there's someone who doesn't know, and one of those people is me.
Oh, okay.
It is a dungeon crawler. You really are you messing with me?
No, I am not. Explain.
Okay.
Sell it to me.
boxed set game in the Age of Sigmar world that contains some of the coolest and newest undead models that
I
have
did
been
look at
made
the miniatures,
in
and
a
they are
really long time.
beautiful.
It is part of the, you know, Warhammer Quest series that's been going back since pretty much since GW began. It's another extension of these sort of dungeon crawling games, but this looks to be really
Like
really
Silver
fun.
Tower.
Silver Tower,
That
all of
was
it.
one of the
Yeah,
iterations.
yeah.
Blackstone
Blackstone
Fortress, Shadows
Fortress.
under Hammerhall.
Yeah,
So
Aaron
so tell
can
me
name
the
all of
just
them.
basics of one of these games, because I won't lie to you guys, I haven't played any
Dude,
of them.
It
It's
is,
Dungeons and
yeah.
Dragons.
It's a no, it's not
But it's not.
Dungeons and
There's cards
Dragons.
and
It is
weird
a
shit
dungeon
and
crawling
dun-
tile flipping board game
tile
where
flipping
it is
board
a
game.
cooperative. You each pick a hero. You go into a right now the new iteration Curse City is you're going through a city trying to get let's see, it's not clues this time. That was Blackstone Fortress. You're actually trying to gather clues to find like the ultimate chamber. This one you're getting into basically Castlevania meets Age of Sigmar, all sorts of zombies and skeletons, and you're going throughout the city and fucking shit up until you get to the big baddie at the end. And I'm
yeah,
sure
and
there's going to be
there's like
tons of expansions.
there's a clock. There's like a clock that moves. And there's all these. There's a lot of cards. It seems like they took some of the fun elements from Warcry and they kind of added it to it with the cards. And
No, they've had the cards since Silver Tower at least.
okay, I didn't play Silver. I own Silver Tower, but I didn't play Silver Tower. But I've played a lot of the original game.
All right, well,
Um,
Aaron, I need you to build that Silver Tower so the next time I visit you, we can play it, because it
so
sounds really neat.
here's the good news. So for the first time in over a year,
Forever.
every GW has released more copies to the distributors than they promised. So it seems like they might be getting back on track with inventory, or at least got the numbers right for Cursed City, because everything that I've gotten was, you know, get ready for the lottery, who's going to actually get the box set,
Yep.
and then it
Yep.
was just happy emails of everybody's getting one and we have more. So
Except for the book.
except for the book, but the book doesn't come in the box?
No, there's a separate novel. This is like a full
Oh.
on novel, also called just Curse City, to not make it any more confusing. And this
Uh,
novel, what's important about it is the physical edition comes with a copy or a hero card that is a wizard that's not found anywhere else.
But
So
where do you get the model?
it's actually they tell you to kit bash it out of like there's like a wizard kit that you can get for the humans for Age of Sigmar that's like 4 or 5 different wizards, and it's basically like buy this box and kit bash your wizard out of it.
that's kind of
um
cool.
But yeah,
Cool
but
with
you
yeah,
could
that.
just people are just gonna put an image of that online and then you'll have the card.
yeah, it's just kind of lame because that was ultra limited
Hmm.
and that sold out instantaneously, and so no one can really get that, which is really sad.
Well, at least you can get like the actual game. You know what I mean?
This is
No,
true.
So
absolutely.
so it says
Absolutely.
to answer your question, it says hunt for treasure is one of the articles. And I have to say, like, all of the character models are gorgeous, and I have the zombie models up on screen. I love these zombies. Like,
The models are fantastic. I did
Can I
not read
say
anything
something about
about
those
it, but
zombies?
yeah, you don't like them? Why?
No, I think they're cool. I
I just
dislike
don't
that
like them.
instead of making them like more generic, that
Uh-huh.
they like made like wood growing out of them.
Right.
Yeah,
It's just
they're
a strange
zombies, which you
decision.
think are just you're gonna have a whole bucket load of zombies, right? You don't want them crazy high detailed
Right, exactly.
because you have to
More
paint
gross,
60 of them.
but it's like
Right.
if I'm making a certain type of zombie, then I'm like, why did these guys
They
all have
also
wood growing?
previewed some other zombies, and my suspicion is these zombies that are going to be in the Cursed City box is one half of the sprues that are going to be in the new zombie kit, and the
Okay.
other half are more normal looking zombies.
I hope so.
So I think that yeah, these are the more kind of like dynamic ones for Curse City, and you're probably there's going to be a lot of them spawning in the graveyard area where one of the bosses is literally a grave digger. And there's a whole lot of
So
undead action
I
going
will say that this is kind of frustrating to me.
What's that?
If you pre-ordered Warhammer Quest from GamesWorkshop.com, then you will receive a bronze key. But if you pre-ordered it at your friendly local game store or at a Games Workshop physical location, then you do not get the bronze key.
What is a bronze key?
It is it's like it's a trinket. It's a key.
It's like a physical
It's a
key.
big bronze key.
And has a skull that you hold on to, and the key part kind of looks like the corn symbol.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So I don't care at all about that. If it's not usable in game, it has no function. I don't care.
Ooh,
Well, it's just
damn son, just attack the business model. Why don't you?
yeah, but
I'm
why? But I don't understand why would they announce that after the pre-orders? Like so now every single time you pre-order with your local friendly game store, you're gonna have to worry that you're missing out on something secret that GW is gonna release
So
along with it.
yeah, I know it's lame that if they put that out announcement out after it's sold
Yeah.
out online or whatever.
Well,
So
let's see.
that's kind of lame.
This announcement is from.
If it was before, then
It's not. It's
all
not
right.
from before. It's not
Okay,
from
well then it
before.
was after.
Yeah.
So really your options are buy it from your local friendly game store if you want to support your local community. Buy it from the GW website for full MSRP with a maybe possibility of getting some extra little random trinket
Some
doodad.
secret thing one day.
Or buy it from your online hookup for 20 to 25% off.
But
Well,
you
your
know what?
local-
I would have bought a special edition of the Dark Angels book had I
Been
had
able
my
to
shit
get it.
together. Yeah.
Well, a lot of local game stores too can give some sort of discount. They have a discount program, or they actually give
Mhm.
discounts on that. So, I mean, you could just save the money that you get at your local game store. That's 5 to 15%, whatever, and buy yourself a little bronze key.
On eBay.
Patrick,
Or
just popping in.
GW.
Howdy.
Hey,
Howdy, Patrick.
you could make those bronze keys some sort of ultimate doomsday weapon to be used in game, and then Josh would pay you every time.
Wait,
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
you
an
would
idea.
totally use that in an RPG, like or a LARP, right?
Here's where we
No,
we
that's not-
come in and we be
that's-
the saviors. Aaron, get your Glowforge, burn in some keys, and spray them bronze.
Fuck
We'll
yeah,
save everybody.
that's using your brain.
Bronze
Didn't get your-
CGN keys all around.
Didn't
Make
get
sure-
your key? Here you go.
Make your own.
Then of course there is also the Underworld stuff with the really cool vampire models coming out soon.
Yeah, those are awesome.
Very cool. Seeing every vampire thing that they're doing for Age of Sigmar now.
It makes you wonder about whether you need to go collect a vampire army.
I know, and I just really don't. But
You
I
just
do.
really do.
But I don't.
We
But
just
I
all-
really, really do. But I don't. But I really do.
You know what we
Should
need?
I
This is
pull
what
out
we should do.
my undead GW army that's not painted and show Aaron and have him get it off me?
You don't have.
No, I'm
you
not
don't-
going to
you
get
don't
it
have
off
one.
of you first.
What? Hold on. What undead
Damn.
GW army do you have?
Well, all the
The
skeletons are
naughty
painted,
one.
and 2 of the Morghast are painted, but they could just be re-primed.
Yeah,
And then I've got
Oh.
a
I'll
bunch
pass
of like
on your old army.
no,
So,
they're the new
I want
skeletons.
these new models.
We all should get
There's
20.
new skeletons coming out.
We should all
Oh yeah,
get.
the new skeletons I don't like as much as
Oh,
the
I
old
do.
skeletons.
Oh my god.
The old
So
ones that
there's
had the
nothing in the new
watermelons
release
for
that's not
fists?
awesome.
No, there's an
compared to
intermediary
garbage.
skeleton they're awesome.
So this is what I say. We
Spoken
all
like a man trying to sell you his army.
we all
I know, right?
should do
Buster.
25% of the vampire army, and then when we come together, we'll have a vampire army.
All right, I'm gonna do the Warcry Vampire Army.
I'll do the skeletons.
I'll do Nagash. He's still part of it, right?
Yeah, all
I'll do
the
knights and
dead.
stuff.
everything in the Dead Alliance is just like all funnels up to Nagash.
Yeah, it
That's
all
awesome. That's
funnels
actually
up
really good.
to Nagash.
I have my Tomb King armies.
Yeah, that's
You wanna
great,
buy 'em?
buddy. Hopefully, you'll be able to do something with those again whenever they bring back the old world.
You could totally run them as those new guys. I don't know what they're called.
Could you think?
Oh, easily.
You could just
But I think that defeats the entire purpose of super awesome new vampire, zombie, undead army.
The
yeah.
characters
I
are the
don't
coolest thing
I
about
don't
it.
understand what Josh is
Knights
trying to
and
pull right now. I don't understand. I think he's literally just trying to sell his old crap so he can buy the new crap. I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah, and everyone wants the new crap.
No.
So, Josh, go do it on a forum. We're talking about cooler stuff. There's also the Warcry Curse
Damn,
City
Josh.
stuff.
Hey Josh, why don't
damn.
you just go get on a forum? Banished.
Hey, there's new
Should I turn his
Warhammer
should I
Underworlds,
turn
not
his video
Underworlds,
off?
Warcry Curse City.
Stop video.
Gotta talk about that. Oh, just he's out of here now. He's not part of this. Put him on mute. Kick him, boot him.
Ask to start video. You have to push start video again. I can't push it for you. You have to do it yourself.
Okay, that
I'm
was
not
like the
doing it.
best
He's
clip.
not
of
doing it. Oh no.
Okay.
Oh
I'm
no.
Uh,
I'm outfox the fox.
Bye,
oh,
Josh.
that's
Listen,
it. But okay.
Fortunately, I have a fade button, which lets me go to another window. Big Aaron told me about this pretty cool website called Pile of Potential.
Pile of potential.
You wanna talk about this?
So I found out I was rolling around on Twitch streams earlier today and came across this one Twitch channel that I apologize, but I don't remember the name of, but it is on this website somewhere. But this is Pile of Potential. It is a kind of project management tool for your minis that you have to paint, and you can create different sort of categories. So like you can create your Death Guard category, and then all your projects are like all your different units and what you have to do, and then there's different sort of columns that's going to cover like, is it base coated, is it primed, is it finished, is it varnished, is it even purchased, all this sort of different stuff. And that way it kind of helps you track what you got to paint. And you, I guess it feels really nice to be able to check things off. What's up, Jeremy? Who's all coming to Valhalla this year?
Woo woo.
Fingers crossed, all of us on the channel, if we're lucky, if stars
I mean,
align.
it's literally Sean and I's birthday.
I know, dude, and it really
don't-
depends.
I don't want.
on
No, don't sit. Be quiet.
vaccinations.
Be quiet.
All
Be
children
quiet.
vaccinated.
Be quiet.
Nope. Right
Quiet.
now, the
Alright.
hope is everyone that you see here.
Be quiet.
And
I'm not talking.
That is the hope.
That
that
is-
is the
that is
the
what's-
desire,
that
the
is what's
plan.
happening. That is what is happening.
Miracle of miracles.
That is what that. Just
Mhm.
Yeah. So, anyways, I have Pile of Potential up, and I got skeletons. I'm getting 10 skeletons. I got a checkbox for built, a checkbox for sprayed, a checkbox for painted, a checkbox for based. It also has number of models complete, points complete, total models. So Aaron and I were thinking that maybe we would spend some time using this over the course of the week, and we'd check in next week and give y'all an update as to how user friendly it is. I love.
we're both doing. We do a lot of project
Yeah,
management.
we do a
both
lot of
us.
project management, and I will tell you, like, my general project management tool is ClickUp. I really like ClickUp. I used to use Basecamp. I used to use Trello.
I primarily use Smart Sheets.
Have not used Smartsheets.
I like project. Like
Ugh,
seriously.
get out of here.
Never
I
mind.
use WordPad.
I like that your
No one's
phone
talking
made
to
that
you.
great.
Is
that
your
great
picture
sound.
back on?
Yeah, of course it is. He's back. We love Josh. Come on.
Okay.
Come
Manufactured disaster.
on. Manufactured disaster.
Wow, that's a put down.
So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. There's definitely plenty of stuff for me to add to it. That's for sure.
I think we
And-
should do our
and-
slow grow on it.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say.
Huh.
Is we could
That's a
sign
good
up
idea.
for it. We can make public accounts. I'm Lord Aaron of CGN. I can make it public, and then we can actually put the things that we're doing for our slow grow. That's like, it's like you're reading my mind. Oh snap! Hey there, bud. So who wants to do a Stargrave campaign with me then? LOL. Done. It's done. It's done. Consider it done, Jeremy. Consider it done. I don't know what it is, but I will do it. What is
Yeah.
Stargrave? What is
Don't
Stargrave?
ask questions. You already
It's like
agreed.
Frostgrave, which is
I know
that
Frostgrave.
okay
Yeah. Yep.
in space.
Oh yeah, I'm in for sure. For sure. Who's bringing the board? Because the Frostgrave board that we have is amazing for Valhalla, but who's gonna make the Stargrave board? Jeremy.
It looks just the same, except it's in space.
Oh, it's the same. It's
Space snow.
it's an old timey British town that's haunted but in space.
Haven't you ever seen Star
Precisely.
Trek?
I
The original
have.
Star Trek, half of the times they go into a planet, it's literally whatever they have on the back lot.
And you see it literally says that in the B-roll, right? It's like
Yeah, they're like, this is.
they were filming a period piece here. Well, I guess that's our next episode.
That's too fucking funny.
Because it's true.
I wasn't doubting that.
Because it's true. So,
Could you imagine having to write for that?
dude,
Like
I would
generic scenes, so many generic.
would
Yeah.
love
Anyways,
I would
Another
love to write for
cowboy
that. I would love
episode.
to write for that. I got my second shot.
Yes.
So that's
Sweet.
awesome. And it was 24 hours, well, 12 hours after I got the shot, was followed 24 hours of like the worst day of my life.
Well,
Like,
but you got the shot, so be thankful for that. I was
yeah.
talking to a peer in Germany, and he said that Germany is kind of behind,
Yep,
and
Spain is
he is
behind,
in queue
Italy is
for
behind.
October 2022 is where he is in the queue
Wow.
for getting his vaccine.
Yes.
So, yay, you got it. All right, we felt a little ill for a day. Much rather have that.
Agreed.
I totally agree. I'm still going to complain about it.
Oh my
Um,
god. Really?
but
Really?
yes, I have colleagues in Italy who are thinking about coming to the United States and staying in quarantine for 2 weeks and then waiting at CVS's and Walgreens to get the shots because Italy is so far behind that they would rather just like come here, you know what I mean, and do the whole quarantine thing
We
and
should
then
do
try
an
to get the shot.
exchange program where we'll take people from other countries here to get them vaccinated, and we send people over there to get just regular old socialized health care.
That's
Like
brilliant,
everything
bro.
else.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
I love it. I want Aaron Thomas to be president.
You know, the world would be a better place.
See,
you
listen
know,
to that.
Listen, that's
How can you argue with that?
I feel like that's what everybody says though.
No, that's not what everybody says, Aaron.
Oh.
Dude, I'm
I-
gonna put something in Facebook real quick.
Uh-oh.
This guy just put this up, and he's like selling them for $215.
Hey,
Why don't you share what it is
I
What?
just did.
with the audience?
No, I will
He's gonna.
post
He has
it.
40 pieties in pain, selling them for $215 each.
How much is the MSRP?
Like 170, and they're out of stock everywhere.
Yep. Them scalpers.
Piety of pain.
Yep.
Wait,
That's
how
not what the
much
sisters-
is he selling them for a piece?
Potatoes of same.
215.
Holy crap.
He says I
Scalpers
can
be
do
scalping.
it 40 times.
How did he get so many?
So what I have heard are people are actually opening multiple stores so they can have multiple accounts with GW. And that's how they're getting more inventory.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So gather up all your LLCs.
Humans.
Bad humans.
Well, unfortunately, everything that downloads from Facebook downloads with a string of 200,000 random numerals behind it, so I just have to keep looking through all the photos until I
The
find the right
last
photo.
photo.
Yeah, it it's not for some reason.
Weird.
So, and for Josh, your army, Aaron's going to be doing some 3D printing because stuff is out on the website, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
like
there are some models you
we talked
literally
about
cannot get.
the entire line. You mean the entire
Yes.
Dark
Everything
Eldar
is out.
line is out of stock.
Yeah, so there's some.
At a minimum, one product.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Yeah, and actually the juice, the laser juice got here, so that's good. The new laser
The
juice.
laser
The
juice.
laser
Is
juice.
that the
Obsessed with
resin
it.
for the printer?
Yeah, that's what I call it. I call it my laser juice.
Uh-huh.
Love it.
What Jeremy says 170 is MSRP
For the piety and pain,
for the
huh?
piety and pain.
So adding an additional $80 on top.
I mean,
Yep.
he should I feel disrespected now. He should have just doubled it.
I mean, that was it's only about a 30% markup then, right?
There's only like one model that you can't, or two models that you
Two.
can't get right now.
That's what they're doing in all their box sets now is there's a hero in every or on each side in all the box sets, just like the shadows and pain. They're really big deviation there, right? Where it's the dark elves versus the Slanesh. And
Yeah.
there's two characters in there as well that are exclusives. So the moral of the story goes: anytime there's a box that comes out, just buy a bunch of them, break them up on eBay, and retire.
Yep.
And buy GameStop stock at the same time. If
Stonk.
you like get a deal where you get the box, the GW box, and some GameStop stock, and you'll be good to go. And maybe some Bitcoin along with that. But not Bitcoin. You need like a different cryptocurrency.
Ethereum
Yeah, you need Ethereum or like Desert Fox,
or Dogecoin.
or Dogecoin, which so many people have been trying to Dogecoin me to death. I don't even know what to do with all the
It's a
Dogecoin.
it's a coin that was born out of a meme, quite literally.
Right.
Yeah.
And now people are
Aw.
I don't care. I don't even care. I think we talked about it last time. We don't need to get into it. I have 167 pages open
That's a
of
lot of pages. What do you have those pages open?
what is this book called?
Warzone? No. Wait.
Charizard.
So the book here
Charkadon or
It's
something.
called
is
Warzone Charizard.
Act 1, The Book of Rust, Warzone, Charizard.
But
But
isn't
not
Char I'm just hold on. Isn't Charizard
It's
a
Charodon.
Oh, it's
It's
Charodon.
Charodon.
Oh, okay. It's still a Pokemon though. It's just a different form of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
So the pages unfortunately are not in the same order that you linked them. So what page do you want me to start on?
So, all right. So, why don't we set this up? This is the first book of the first campaign of Warhammer 40K 9th edition. So, you got your Crusade stuff. This first book involves a lot of AdMech. It involves some knights. That's the House Raven, Death Guard, and some filthy stinking elves. So we can go over Josh can talk about the healths and I'll talk about the awesome Death Guard.
You act like
Aaron,
I've read the book.
You haven't?
well,
I don't have it.
I sent you the pictures days ago. Don't act like, oh, I don't have it. I don't know what to
You
talk
sent
about.
me a page of the
I sent you
strategy.
all of the rules.
Oh well, I didn't know that I would be a pop quiz.
Oh my god, we
Well, there
talked about
is.
this. Ugh. All right. So, anyways, we don't have to talk about
Well-
all of it apparently.
And we're gonna add more on the end and all that fun stuff. But it's also they are continuing to expand it with the White Dwarf magazines, which is super interesting.
Which is
Oh, is there
super
side
annoying.
stuff?
Which is super
Yeah,
annoying.
yeah,
It's super annoying.
it's actually really neat, and I think it does go into the rules bloat
So
and
yeah, let's talk
I
about this
what?
for a second
don't
instead of deep diving into
No,
the Charizards.
I
no. Let's talk
don't
about Charizard.
want
Well, let's talk
any
about it
more
in this
paper.
aspect.
I don't want any
Yeah.
more paper.
So now, I mean, they're doing a really great job of tying everything in now, right? Now you basically they're getting it so that you almost have to buy white dwarfs because they put chapter approves in white dwarves
Yeah, I got
and
my
all
chapter.
this stuff. So now you have the core rule book, you got your codex, you got the new index or the new campaign book, you got two white dwarfs, maybe for some extra stuff down, and now you know those magazines that they put out in the UK that have minis with them as well,
Yeah.
and it's like a good
The
deal.
heroes, right?
No, the
No.
heroes are the little random boxes that
Oh,
are in
those are the
Japan.
Japanese ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the this is like another magazine, and it's like $10 or whatever a month, and you get a model that's usually worth a significant amount more. And the idea is over time you build an army by them sending you
Oh,
all this
that
stuff
crazy
at a
shit.
good
Yeah,
deal.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's coming to the US now as well.
So,
So
but
now
don't worry,
there's
everybody, because you'll be able to scan the QR code for all of this, and then it will conveniently download to your app. So they just want to make sure that you have the physical copy of everything, and then you'll be able to have it in your app for
the
easy
problem
convenience.
is, and we're all used to, if you play 40K, to have to get a lot of books at some point in the edition. Usually it's late in the edition though. This one is not
This is
even a year
much
old,
earlier.
and you already have to, like, I play Death Guard. So yeah, I got my new codex and I got the Warzone Charizard. And really I hope that there's nothing else for a while because
Did you have to? You don't have to buy the white dwarves, do you?
I don't know.
We haven't figured out whether it's
Well, you to buy
weird
you could be
information.
like Dark
I
Eldar and have to buy a book to get the rules for your book that literally came out the same day.
Yeah, I do think a lot of that is just with COVID and mistiming of stuff, and that's just kind of the way she rolled. I don't, because like Death Guard also got pushed back. Like I think both of our armies that were supposed to come out quite a while ago, and Charizard was supposed to come out probably nowish, and they were just like, oh well, we do have the books for Charizard, so we're just gonna put those out now too. Hooray! Because
Hey,
they don't want to hold inventory.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I think it's very
So a lot of
possibly what
bloat
happened.
really quick, a little too
oh.
Yeah.
quickly. Is it going to get to the point where we really are going to have like 5 books on the table by the end of this year?
Well, no,
Because
not if
I'm already
not if
at
they do
3.
the QR code not if the QR code thing works. If
Let me
the
see. Is there a QR code
if
in
the
this?
if
There's a
there's a
back
barcode.
Oh,
page.
I do have a code in the
yeah.
Charizard. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can import that. That's good.
But hopefully it won't import stupid where it keeps everything separate and then you have to know how to link them. Hopefully it just has everything together for the armies and then it like ungrays out the portions that you need. You know what I mean?
It's yeah.
Hopefully it's not a white dwarf inside of your app that opens up separately. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think I think they're going to, as long as they continue the support and timeliness of the app. I pay for the app. I try to use the app for everything. Battlescribe is still better at the moment, but I'm trying to go with their stuff. And as you put in your codes, it unlocks different stuff for you to use. And I have not run into any super silly issues lately. There's, hey, this is the wrong picture
Does it
type
tell
stuff.
you what you don't have?
I don't think so.
I think, can't you put in like stuff that you like, the models that you want? Is that what you're
No,
talking
what I'm
about?
saying is like let's say okay, like I'm just
Oh,
gonna
it's grayed out.
Yes,
Yeah,
give
I'm
me a
okay.
just
hypothetical.
yeah, I faded over to the free blade page of of the Charizard, right? So it's got restrictions, it's got benefits, it's got legendary knight, it says add one leadership characteristic for this model, right? So my expectation would be is that when I'm looking at the knights inside of the app, it would say like missing information available in Charizard. You know what I mean? And that it so that I would know oh, there's this other thing that I need to go buy, and then
I
hopefully,
don't think you're gonna get a signifier saying,
Oh,
"Hey, go buy
and
this thing."
well, and here's Patrick Wilson was just saying, why don't we code rules for models that you buy? So having like a QR code that you can just scan and then boop, it's right into
yeah,
the system for you.
that'd be way
That wouldn't be
better.
bad.
That'd be way
There
That
is
better.
would
some
be
other chat
awesome.
here. It looks like some of the guys are talking about having some and sharing some of the witches and incubis. Is that Jeremy's looking for? Wilson's trying to hook them up here, but Jeremy was saying it looks like the really likes the Charizard book for the lore. I've heard that the Crusades and the lore and all of that is actually quite good in this book. I have heard all of so what's interesting is there's new armies of renown, which is a army that you can build together that has restrictions but also gives you buffs to compensate that make things kind of interesting. I'd like to talk about that a little bit because that's what Death Guard is. They have all of the crusade stuff in here. There's all sorts of regular campaign stuff in here. There's supplements for
Well, let's get
the
into it. What do you?
elves. All right.
Let's get into
Okay.
your rotting corpses of
Oh
models.
yeah. All right. Then let's page 78, sir. Bring that up. So what we're going to talk about,
What is
Hey,
the what
Aaron,
does
can
it
I
look
interrupt?
like? Yeah,
Can I
interrupt.
interrupt for 1 second?
Sure, sure.
Um, Big Aaron, can you
what?
give us like a bird's eye view of what's happening first before we go to the rules? Just like
What's
a real
happening?
quick explanation.
Yeah, like,
So there's some Metallica. Not joking. I don't
It's a
really know
Forge
all the
World.
rules.
It's a
Yeah,
Forge
it's a
World.
Forge World of the Admechs. And then there's some Death Guards, and it's a whole bunch about Typhus and the ship. The ship, the Terminus Est, is actually like it's older, like it's earlier than 30K. Like it's pre like typhus and like everything Horus Heresy. It's a ship that's super old and has a bunch of bad juju. And then Typhus kind of took it as like his, so it's like the biggest, like the big ship of the fleet of Death Guard.
Yeah.
And they're coming rolling in. Um and then there's some knights that I think are free
But why
blood.
are they? I just want to know, why are they fighting? What's the planet they're fighting over?
That's a good question. I have not been able to read
Okay.
the lore
so
yet.
I think that it is a Forge World inside of this place that the Char-Adon, or however you pronounce it, chapter of Space Marines is responsible for.
Mhm.
The Night House is, aligned with the AdMech, all that fun stuff. And why the Death Guard are attacking, I'm not sure.
Death Guard
But
be
it's,
Death Guard.
yeah, Death Guard be Death Guard, right? They're doing their standard chaos aggressing type stuff. They need an artifact. They need to fix the spaceship. Who knows? They need something. They're fighting. Um, but I think the important part is, right, it's in this overall massive campaign that there's been lots of weird background talk about, with the chapter of the Space Marines, and they're kind of flushing it out so everybody can play in there, right? So it's the logical progression of Vigilus. They're building another Vigilus.
So what I like about that is the Chardons like have been my favorite because they're the Shark Space Marines, which are
Yep.
cool.
They're super, super neat. And
I always thought for the longest time they were actually called the Sharkadons.
Sharkadon is way
That's their
better.
new name.
Yeah.
I
They are
mean,
now
you
the
could pronounce it that
Sharkadons.
way for sure.
Isn't their emblem like a shark, a space
Yeah, they're
shark?
the Shark
Yeah.
Marines.
Yeah, Sharkadons. Makes so
And they're
much
all like,
sense.
the Inquisition's all looking at them because they're like, they
Oh
just
my
murder.
god, there part of the supplement is called Metallica.
It's a
Yes.
Forge World. It's like
Metallica is a forge world.
been around forever.
Codex supplement Metallica.
Yes.
Warlord traits.
Uh-huh. Don't talk
Radioactive.
about it because they'll give you a DMCA.
Oh, why?
Because it's Metallica. Remember they went after Napster and we're
Oh, they
all
went after
hardcore
You
about.
everybody.
scared me.
Yeah.
I've switched
Yeah.
it off. I disconnected everything.
So let's go to page 78. We're
I
going
can't
to talk real quick.
can't see page numbers on your
All right. Well,
pictures.
Terminus S Assault Force is the main page.
All right.
So what makes this interesting for Death Guard is it's an army of renown. So it's not a supplement. It's not like a different chapter. It is a force that you put together that has restrictions, but then also gives you bonuses for those restrictions. Josh, what were they called in 7th edition?
Formations.
Formations. So if you're old school, you might remember formations.
Yup.
So that's kind of what this is. And the Death Guard one here, so it is called the Terminus Est Assault Force. But basically, you can't take Mortarion, you can't take anything with the vehicle keyword. If you take Typhus, he must be your warlord. And if you take what are the Death Guard chapters? If you take one, it has to be the Harbingers, which kind of sucks. They're probably one of the least good, because the chapter that you pick for Death Guard depends is then what contagion, like the special contagions, your Death
So
Guard
what's
can
their
take.
contagion?
So theirs is, and let me just flip back to
It's
it. I
Stinky
had it
feet,
here.
yo.
Yeah, it's not as great. Oh, I was looking at so many different things in the Death Guard book. So as I'm flipping to that, so you got that. They have one, well, they have actually two kind of super cool abilities. One for being you have this Outbreak Assault, which you can put any amount of models in your army into strategic reserves, and then instead of, so like deep striking, you can then add up the number of power level points that they are, and then you pay CP for however many total power levels. So it's not per each. So if it's like the combined power rating is 1 to 9, you pay 2 CPs. If it's 10 to 19, you pay 3 CPs, 20 to 29, 4, and so on and so forth. So and they only have to be 9 inches away from an enemy model. So you can basically deep strike a whole bunch of poxwalkers in if you want,
Oh, that'd
or
be terrible.
right.
Yep.
So you can drop those down. Poxwalkers are a big focus in this, along with Typhus is a big focus with this, because Typhus is all like very popular right now in this story arc, and he's a big part of it. You also get their special warlord trait. So again, the warlord trait is what gives the cool contagion ability. This one specific to the Terminus Est is, if a Terminus S force character model is your warlord, they can also have this trait instead of one from another source. So it is, while this enemy model with leadership characteristic of 7 or less is within 3 inches of the warlord. So that's two great restrictions, right? If it's an enemy model with leadership 7 or less and has to be within 3 inches, but that model unit cannot make use of objective secured or anything similar to that, and this model cannot perform
Whoa.
any actions. So
Wow.
so any models that your warlord is chilling around, i.e. Typhus swinging his big scythe, they really can't do the stuff that they're supposed to be doing to get you points, right? So that's kind of cool. And then cherry on top, +1 attack characteristic if your warlord is in melee range of
So
something.
you can just like plop in and then neuter
Yeah, so yeah.
objectives.
Well, yeah, pretty much. You can drop Typhus in. That would give him then 7 attacks with his Man Reaper. If you're chilling around a whole bunch of models, let's say you have a whole bunch of guard that are objective secured, right? Sitting on a model, drop just Typhus into him. You got 7 attacks with his scythe, which is +1 strength, so 5 strength, -1 AP, 1 damage, 2 hits on everyone. So you're doing 14 attacks that are going to just basically blender a whole unit. Or you can do the full on cleave, which is the big heavy hits. So you can do 7 3 damage attacks with +3 strength and -3 AP. So just go in and start chopping knights and whatever you feel like down. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. I did just have up the Harbingers thing, and then of course I flipped back to Typhus and then lost it again. But here it is. All right, so the Harbingers. So not so great. Its warlord trait is Shamble Rot. Shamble Rot is, while this enemy unit, excluding vehicles, is within contagion range of this unit at the start of your opponent's movement phase, roll 1d6, subtracting 1 if that enemy's unit has the character keyword. On a 4-up, that enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound. On a 6-up, that enemy unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So it does create a bubble of potential mortal wounds around the warlord. So it's all right, but you're not going to take that one if you're taking typhus. You're going to take this other one probably. That gives you the turn off objective secured. So a couple really cool things, because there's really cool spells that they can take, a couple new stratagems, and some really cool relics. So stratagems, they buff up poxwalkers in a couple ways. One, if you do that terminus or outbreak assault where you're dropping in, or if you do a regular deep strike, you can pay 2 CP for what's called pestilence drop. And when you do, those units, their contagion range goes to max contagion. So your little turn one, drop them in, normally has a 1-inch contagion range, now suddenly has a 12-inch contagion range, dropping them 9 inches away from an enemy model. So you're just blanketing everything into the enemy's area. So drop a big blob of poxwalkers down. Unleash the Horde is a poxwalker stratagem. Let's see, from your is selected to move or in the fight phase. All right, so you're talking about when a terminus assault force poxwalker unit from your army is selected to move or in the fight phase. When one of these poxwalker units from your army is selected to fight, it was redundant. That's weird. Until the end of turn, add 3 inches to the move characteristic, and also 3 inches to pile in. So 2 CP, and
Whoa,
that's all of your
6 inches.
poxwalkers. All of your poxwalkers. So that's not just one unit. So
How
every turn you pay 2 CP, 3 inches plus another 3 inches to pile in.
how
They're
big
zipping around.
how big can the units of pox walkers be now? Can you still have the
20.
Okay, so they dropped it.
They never had 30.
They never
Yeah.
had 30. It was always
It
20.
was always 20, but you used to be able to go above their maximum.
You
That's what
can't go
they
anymore.
No, you can't go above their maximum number. That's what they turned off to help bring them back down a while ago. So that's really cool. So you can have little beep beep poxwalkers rolling around. And then there's stratagems in the codex for Death Guard that can make them do like mortals on their attacks and all sorts of other stuff for your poxwalkers. Um,
So
there's also one where you can basically, what's the old Necron where ability where you could set up the whole unit again if you still had any? They have that now, Rotting Tide. It's 2 CP or 3 CP
oh,
if it's
I have
one
that
time
page
model.
actually available. Yay!
Yeah. So that's what I've been talking about here. All these stratagems and warlord traits. So that allows you to basically set up a whole unit again of poxwalkers.
As long as there's one left.
Yeah, as long as you got some left. And
Like
that's
the
a
old
one per
cultist.
game. But there's another one in the codex that you can get up to 7 back. So there's all sorts of different ways to get back your different models now. So all really cool stuff. And there's only 4 there. Moving on though to the Fester discipline. So this is really cool. These are the new spells that are for this assault force, this army of renown. What's really cool is so you can take these instead of the normal psyker abilities that Death Guard can take. As you folks might know, you can't take 2 different types of spell trees unless your model states otherwise. So like the Death Guard, they can take theirs. So you can't take Fester with the regular, what is it, contamination or whatever tree for a Death Guard. But there's some really, really cool spells here. I want to talk definitely about a couple of them. So first off, Gift of Infection, warp charge value of 7, enemy model within 18 inches of the psyker until the start of your next psychic phase, subtract 1 from the toughness characteristic of models in that unit. And this is not cumulative with other toughness penalties. So it doesn't stack because the normal contagion that all Death Guard has is -1 toughness. So, but it's toughness at range. So that one's okay because it doesn't stack with other things, which is kind of a bummer. Here's one, lung rot, that I particularly like. It is value of 7, charge value. If it's selected enemy model within 18 range, 18 inches, that unit cannot advance.
Ooh.
Each time that unit is selected to charge, only eligible units within 6 inches can be selected as the target of the charge. So you have to be within 6 inches to be able to charge something. And then each time a charge roll is made for that unit, it cannot be re-rolled. So have fun charging into me with that spell along with a foul blight spawn with his Rax upgrade or whatever
Yeah,
it
while
is.
while inside a piece of terrain that's defendable.
Yeah. Have fun
Great
charging Death Guard
potatoes.
now. So that one is super fun. Pernicious Dose is warp charge value of 7. Select a friendly unit within 6 until the start of your next psychic phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack with a plague weapon, you can re-roll hit rolls. So you can re-roll all hits and reroll ones on wounds because that's what plague weapons gives. That's not bad because they don't have good rerolls to hits really much otherwise except for having a lord.
Are you
nearby.
gonna go with Fester?
Well, I'm thinking about for our well, I can only do it if I do this Army of Renown.
Right. Right.
And I'm thinking about doing it for our Slow Grow League.
Very nice. I
I mean,
hear
that
Yeah.
that
makes
they're like
sense.
totally super strong at low level points too.
We will see because here's the thing for me is I want to do our slow grow without doing plague marines. I don't really want to paint more plague marines right
Really?
now. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I love plague marines. They're actually probably my favorite model to convert and I have over 70 plague marines all actually over 80 because that's with the models. No, over 90 with the plague marines that I've
Let's just
painted.
call it 100.
It's sure we'll round it up to 100. I love plague marines, but I don't want to because I'm painting a lot of terminators right now. I just finished up a blight lord hauler or a plague burst hauler. I got a lot of characters and terminator units to build. Poxwalkers, you can only take a unit of Poxwalker for any other core unit that you take, and the core units for Death Guard are the Plague Marines, the both flavors of Terminators, and also Possessed, which you guys here in the chat, well, not in the chat, but on the channel, know that I just kit bashed a whole bunch of Death Guard Possessed using the Forge World upgrade chess pieces that are old as hell, kit bashing those up. So I'm thinking of maybe using some Possessed with a unit of Terminators and Typhus and some Poxwalkers, maybe in a first list. We'll see though.
Dude,
Let's see.
my slow grow is gonna be so great. I'm so excited.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna drop a building and have a whole bunch of little cars.
So you're gonna have a bunker and your jeeps,
Yeah.
your little dune
Beep
buggies.
beep, I'm a Jeep.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
It's gonna be like Jurassic Park security rolling in. You know what I mean?
Jurassic Park security.
I love it.
Da, 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 da,
Hey,
da,
no, that's
da.
a real DM right there. That's a real DM.
It's
Between
under a
that,
minute, right? Isn't that
between,
legit? Isn't that the TikTok rules?
well, we ain't on TikTok right now. Okay, like
We ain't no
Damn.
TikToking.
we got you know we already said
Fine.
the M word, which I'm never ever gonna say again.
The M word.
Yeah, Metallica.
Metallica.
Oh, that's another strike. Well, it's
Three
nice knowing
strikes,
everyone.
one
Yeah, we're
video, three
Yeah.
strikes.
kicked off
This
a
has been a
YouTube
great
tonight.
channel.
Yeah,
That's
it's been a
great.
good run.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do I forgot what they're called, but the guys that just sit in their chair with their big guns. Um
The Imperial Fist.
no, the model,
No, yeah, that new
the Primaris
the
model.
turret that just
Yeah,
sits
the
there.
turret.
The one that
Um
everyone else is too embarrassed to play.
oh, it's gonna be the Hammerfall bunker, the
Mhm,
turrets,
mhm.
ATVs, and land speeders.
Nope, and a chaplain on a bike.
And a chaplain on a bike.
So it's just pretty much all the new models except any of the infantry.
No infantry.
Love it. You're gonna be able to, in our first game, you're gonna get like 3 vehicles in there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a bunker and a chaplain, and you're just gonna do donuts around your bunker the whole time.
dude. With that bunker, it is gonna like, oh, it's gonna do so good.
Eviscerate you.
It's gonna do so good. I love it. I'm gonna put
Oh,
in.
hold on, Jeremy. So you just got a whole huge lot of Nurgle Terminators to paint for my brother, but they are almost all missing shoulder pads and combi weapons. So no clue when I'll
Bummer.
get painting for them. So here's my trick. What is the old what is it, Betrayal of Kolth or whatever, 30K box set? There the
Mhm.
old 30K plastic, like the generic box set, has all sorts of body bits that you can totally use for kit bashing and have combi weapons in them and plasmas. So go look for that so that way you can get your combi bolters on the
What's it
cheap.
called?
I think it's the
Trail of
Betrayal of
Cow.
Kolth box set. But whatever the old like the 30K base marine generic space marine box set is, there are you're gonna get your
There's
combi
one.
weapons.
There's one for.
Tartaros
There's a.
Terminators.
There's an eBay auction for one right now.
So go check out.
$112.
Nope, don't go for that. But just look for 30K because they have combi weapons that look identical on the table. But for the shoulder pads, if you can't find the shoulder pads on eBay, check out shoulder pads for the Age of Sigmar.
Sigmarines.
The like the Nurgle mortals. I'm forgetting the name of them right now, but it's the Nurgle mortals that are basically look like big, they look like kind of plague marines, but they're all melee. They're kind of like the Terminators actually of Nurgle mortals, whatever they are called.
And
But
my
they have
suggestion
yes.
is to get a green stuff roller to make
Mm,
tentacles,
hmm.
and get some of the tube plastic card, and just be like, boop boop boop. There's the there's the combi weapon arm.
There you
Oh
go,
yeah, the
right?
green stuff rollers are amazing.
Especially
That's
if
gonna
you're
be your
doing
cheapest
Nurgle
option.
stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
This
This is
box
amazing.
also, and I'm
Um,
trying to look for it
and the tentacle
really
one
quick.
works really well. Like,
Yes, it
uh,
do.
I have it. I have the general thing open. I don't see the tentacle one specifically. But anyways, these if you don't know what we're
Yeah.
talking about, they're these rollers. They're either
Okay.
glass or plastic or
Oh,
stone.
there's. Oh, I'm
Um,
not looking at the right. So there's the rollers for to make little tubes from Green Stuff
oh,
World.
I'm on a
This is
website. Hold
the
on.
big one. Oh,
Let
okay.
me
Well,
fade
that's
back to you.
fine.
Okay, no, you're up. You're
Okay.
back.
It's this I got just got recently, the big pack. So this is a new big roller that they have. I have the regular ones. Check out Green Stuff World. They are one of the shops that I think they're out of Spain. They
Yep.
have like every cool little knickknack, doohickey, and bob and bit that you could. Well, they don't do bits so much, but anything for like basing, they have everything in the world that you'd ever need for basing. Sculpting stuff. They
Oh,
have
they have the glow. They have all the different color glow pigments.
Yep, they have their own line of shimmery metallic stuff. Earlier, I was talking about what to convert shoulder pads from. Putrid Blight Kings. If you play Death Guard Nurgle, anything at all, or if you just like kit bashing grim dark stuff, that one box I think is a tremendous value for bits in general, hands down. They're gorgeous models to begin with, gorgeous and super creepy and disgusting because it's Nurgle, right? But the Putrid Blight Kings have all sorts of crazy great bits. If you need some shoulder pads, check that out because they do fit about and they're almost the exact same shape as the shoulder pads on like the Death Guard Terminators. That kind of like half. I
I
got a
just
whole
like
bunch
googling
of them
everything
here.
that you're talking about so fast. This is
I
fun.
know I talk about a lot of fun stuff.
This is fun. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those shoulder pads. That'll do. Patrick, did we
Mhm.
sort you out? Tell me that we
Jeremy's
sort.
got some tentacle rollers. Yep. Yep. He's got
I
plenty of
don't.
bits
I
laying
have.
around.
So I just play with Josh's tentacle roller.
Yep.
Long as you get the right end result.
Okay. So, Shizzle, we've been
Yo,
talking a lot about the Slow Grow League. Even though you are many states away from the three of us, there are other three of us here. You're still going to be participating, right?
yeah, so I have this weird kind of idea, and what that is A, as we were talking about before, I've been extended in my solitude a little bit. Um, so I'm going to try to use the same type of framework to get through all of these Dark Angel projects I have. just off the top of my head, there are 12 bikes,
Oh, so
11
you're
chaplains.
gonna build with us and then just be
I'm
sad.
gonna build with you and
And
just
then
be sad
and then
and
just
be
be
over
sad.
here in kind of the same type of format, and I'm just gonna be like, I hopefully painted a bunch of guys this.
Well,
Well,
Sean, what if
So my
you would
plan
you?
is to everything that I've got built,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna just like give up on the bases and stuff. All being super cool. I'm gonna do all the characters, but all the regular guys, I'm not gonna go through and spend 20 minutes on everybody's base, building stuff so that I can spend 2 hours to paint them later, right? Um, so I'm gonna try to cut some corners and get everything airbrushed over this next week, and then I'm going to
You're gonna
uh,
start on your bolters right now.
no, no, I won't. I'm
but
still building.
on top of building, you're also gonna be you're essentially running the campaign.
Yeah. So I'm gonna kind of like use this Warzone Charizard as the backdrop to. I guess I can like point my camera at myself so you can all see my pretty face. I'm gonna use all the media that GW is putting out, to kind of say, hey, this is the battle we're going to fight. Now we haven't decided specifically if we are going to be fighting in this war zone. But we are going to be using those rules to tell the story of whatever the fuck happens. And that's going to be a little bit live, right?
Dude,
As things occur.
that makes me wanna bust out my ad mech.
So get out your ad mech.
Well, just remember, Aaron, just like the other narrative books, the next one that comes out is going to be focused on several other armies. And
Yep.
at some point here, Space Marines are going to drop in because
No, I know. Listen.
I'm
That's
listening.
fine. That's
I'm
fine.
listening.
The thing is, like, I paint, like, I get that it would be funny if I wait for 10th edition to finish my 9th edition stuff, just like I waited for 9th edition to finish my 8th edition stuff.
Yeah.
I'm happy to get back. I'm ready to get back into painting Marines. I'm a little sad that I don't get to use um, the contrast paint as much because my old scheme does not rely on it.
Yeah.
But like, next to Space Marines in my heart is AdMech, right? And I have a huge AdMech army, and I have a whole bunch of new in box AdMech stuff.
Do
Just
you have 500 points of new inbox ad mech stuff?
for sure.
So
Like,
build some
I don't,
fucking ad mech.
I don't.
Aaron,
You're
the
not
stuff
like me over here with 700 Terminators being like, Sean, you haven't painted me for 35 years.
I don't have
What
the
are you
new.
doing,
I don't.
Sean?
I don't have the new. I don't have the new
So
truck.
judgy, Terminators.
I don't have the new flyer.
They are.
you
Who
don't have the new
cares? Who
tank, you don't have the
cares?
new flyer, you don't have the new
Who cares?
I'm
Who
saying
cares? It's narrative.
if he wants to actually build his army and stuff that he doesn't have, that's what he should do is get the new stuff.
But I don't even need to. I don't need to get the new stuff to build 2,000 points.
Well, and also we're kind of like, I understand, Josh, that you want this very regimented structure, but you're just not going to get it because all the rest of us are assholes and are going to do what we're going to do.
I'm trying to paint as much as I can for the slow grower league.
Yeah, and I'm
I
trying to get in
probably
there
will
and-
paint 40 more poxwalkers, but I already have 20 painted, and by the end of this, I probably will have 3 units of 20. So
Well, and I'm gonna cut my stuff up to hopefully mirror that same type of growth, right? And try to do squads as a week, right, to fit into that.
But hold on.
It's still gonna be this prod anyway.
Here's my question.
Ad mech,
right?
ad mech, ad mech, ad mech.
Here's
ad
my
mech.
question.
Ad mech.
It doesn't matter what we're doing. What I want to know is, like, how are we gonna tell people about our week to week progress? Like, are you guys gonna each send me every week like a short 2-minute video on your progress, and then I'm gonna edit together an 8-minute video that we can post every week
So
on our progress?
I haven't done any directed thinking, but my thought was every time you're like, oh, cool, I got stuff on my desk, you take a real quick minute video of you explaining what you're doing. Or if you're doing something neat that's not painting a single storm bolter, to talk about that, right? And send you
I love how
little
you say
clips
that
of
like
media.
it's not about you.
So when are we
It's not.
starting this? Because aren't we supposed to get together at the
Today
end of
is
this
the
month
first
to play?
day.
Today's the
We're
Today is
first
day one.
Yeah, we're this is all
Today's
beginning.
day one. Yeah.
All
So,
right. So
by the
people, you're hearing it
24th
here first.
By the 24th, we should have 500 points.
Okay,
All right, and I'm going to be paying
Stuff.
Death Guard, obviously.
so this is what I want to say. So this is how I think we should do the format.
Uh-oh.
Every every Sunday, while because we have 30 minutes right before we go live. This is some backstage information. We give ourselves 30 minutes to get all the technical stuff worked out.
Secrets.
Send a 2-minute video of what you did that week, and then on Monday I'll put it together, right? And we'll have an 8-minute update video every week. And then we'll get together for the game on the 24th, and we will live stream Sean into that game.
Wow. Okay. All right.
It's very official.
And then, Sean, you can shoutcast, right?
Oh yeah,
us?
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, you have the most competitive knowledge. Well, I mean, Sean or Josh also has broken
No,
knowledge.
Josh didn't even read the
Josh
pages
wins.
you sent him.
I know that's
He doesn't
true.
need
So,
to though. He
Sean,
doesn't need to though.
you,
He just
you can
downloads the
shoutcast
information
for us.
while he's sleeping.
Well, and I'm gonna do fun, crazy things to you guys as well, and be like, "Meteor storm! Everybody takes a mortal wound." It's gonna be great. Josh is
Dude,
gonna be
I
so
played
mad.
I played in a narrative campaign at the bunker while they were simultaneously playing another game in England. And you remember those old guns that didn't have range?
Old
What?
gun that just could shoot
Unlimited.
anywhere on the
That
board.
they could
Unlimited.
shoot unlimited. So they called the other store and was like, "Yeah, you guys are running your narrative thing. Yeah, drop a large blast template on your page. You just got shot from the bunker to another GW store, like on the
I'd
other side
allow
of the
it.
world."
I mean, that's
Love
kind
it.
of fun.
It's freaking awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, so stuff like that is gonna happen
All right,
all the
well,
time.
we got it's time for wrap up.
Really? Wow, we
Yeah,
were quick.
I know. What
It
did
was a
I do?
very intense session.
What did I do? I'll just fade back to my spinning Marvel Crisis Protocol shelf.
I love it.
It's just been spinning and continuing to spin. That's what I'm doing. And you might notice I keep glancing over. It's because I keep getting lost in its spin. But I feel like every time I look over at it, it's always backwards. It's
Getting lost
frustrating.
in the spin.
I'm getting lost in the spin.
Jeremy, your Project Slanesh AOS. I'm doing some Seekers from the Daemon and Chariots, and then also the bits from the new Paybringer to the regular STDs. Oh, Chariots. Slave to Darkness, yes. Chariots. To make a Slanesh
much
mortal
more family
chariot.
friendly.
Dude,
Very
I am
cool.
turning ads off on this video. As soon as this closes, I'm demonetizing this video personally. I'm just gonna give myself a strike.
I mean, I mean, it's
I mean,
the name. It's the name.
It is the name. Thank you,
And
Jeremy.
it's perfect for Slanesh.
And it's absolutely perfect.
It
Sean,
is.
where are you at with your hobby for today?
Or Nurgle.
I got some bases configured. I built myself another Deathwing Terminator Commander Sergeant guy. I gotta find a head for him. And I did a bunch of green stuff on my Talon Master Land Speeder.
Yeah,
so
I saw it. Looked
got
like
some
you
stuff
were
done.
working on a land speeder. That makes me excited.
Yeah.
Josh, what'd you get done?
I got 10 Reavers done, and I have
Painted
10
or built?
No, built, and I got 10 warriors with their torsos, arms, and legs glued together. I'm gluing the arms and torsos together so I can pose them on their little movie rotating waists.
And Nurgle Aaron?
Nurgle Aaron is doing a bunch of medals, or I was doing a bunch of medals on my Death Shroud here.
They look so good.
Well, I mean,
They do.
don't. They only have most of their base coats. No shadows.
Let's see.
or anything.
Patrick's giving us an update. He's hobbying with us. I finished putting
Nice.
together Helga on Wheels for Riot Quest / Warmahordes. Awesome.
Very
Thank you.
cool.
Thank you so much
Cool.
for hobbying with us. You
Put
are
a picture in Discord.
Yeah.
We like you.
Is Helga the
Yeah.
pig? Helga's the pig, right?
I think so. I do believe so.
Let's see. Hobby chat. I don't see a picture of it. Well,
Get it there
it
eventually.
is that time. You have like no seconds to get it to me, Patrick. But if anybody is not in our Discord who would like to join our Discord, I will copy the link right now. Uh, Copy, and I can paste
Drop it
it
on in there.
into
Come
the
check it
chat.
out. We try and have some fun in there for sure. We always
Um,
share off our
Yeah, we're
hobby
not all
stuff.
bad.
Yeah, we do. We do have some special class ranking structure. If you're a part of if you're a Patreon, then you get special status and you get some special channels. But sometimes you also just see us hanging out, and you're welcome to come, hang out and chit chat with us while we're in the Discord. Um, so yeah, please come join that. As always, thank you so much for tuning in to Paint and Chat. We always, this is something to do as a group activity. I'm so happy when other people are joining us doing that. So thank you so much, Patrick. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell button if you haven't already. And as always, Sean will see you
On the table. Can I move now?